Introducing the amazing woman I want to marry. I didn't plan to talk about her this way. Not today. But something happened earlier that made me realize. It's time. It all started a few months ago. I met someone who didn't just make me smile. She made me feel safe. Not the kind of safe where nothing bad can happen, but the kind of safe where even if everything goes wrong, I know I'll still be okay because she's there. She didn't show up in my life like fireworks. She came in quietly, like rain on a hot day. Soft, slow, but you feel it deeply. The first time we talked, I remember thinking, wow, she listens. Not just to my words, but to the stuff I didn't say too. I had no idea someone like her even existed. She's not loud, but her presence fills a room. She doesn't chase attention, but somehow when she's near, it's hard to look anywhere else. And trust me, I've never been the type to fall fast. But with her, it didn't feel like falling. Felt like landing. And I know what some people think. You just met her. How do you know she's the one? But see, it's not about how long you've known someone. It's about how deeply they see you. And she saw me. Even the parts one tried to hide. Even the mess. She didn't flinch. She didn't run. She stayed. One night, we were walking down this quiet street, holding hands. We weren't even talking much. Just walking. And out of nowhere, she squeezed my hand and said, "You don't have to keep proving yourself to me. I already believe in you." That sentence, I'll never forget it, because I've spent so much of my life trying to be enough, trying to make people stay, trying to not get hurt again. And here she was, telling me I don't need to try so hard, that I am enough. Just like this. She's strong in the kindest way. She doesn't argue to win. She speaks to understand. When I mess up, she doesn't yell. She pauses. She gives space. But not the kind of silence that feels cold. The kind that feels safe. That says, let's fix this, not break it more. She's also funny in the weirdest ways. She laughs at her own jokes before finishing them. She sings off-key in the car. She gets excited over the smallest things, like sunsets or fresh toast. And I love all of it. Every single weird, random thing about her. The way she talks to animals like they understand. The way she folds her arms when she's trying to hide she's upset. The way she looks away when she's about to cry because she doesn't want me to see her fall apart. But I want to see all of it. The tears, the strength, the soft, the fire. She doesn't even know how amazing she is. That's the crazy part. She just is. And she thinks it's normal. Like it's no big deal. But it is. To me, it's the biggest deal of my life. And that's why I'm finally saying this out loud, in front of everyone watching. This is the woman I want to marry. Not just because she loves me, but because she makes me want to be a better man for her. Because when I picture forever, I see her smile in it. Because even when I'm quiet, she gets me. And I know it won't always be easy. Life is messy. Love is hard. People change. But I believe in us more than I've ever believed in anything. She doesn't need a crown. She already carries herself like a queen. And I just want to be the man beside her. For everything. For real. So yeah, that's her. The amazing woman I want to marry. Everything was going well between them until people started to notice how serious he was getting about her. At first, it was just little comments from friends. Jokes, really. The kind people throw around casually but don't realize they cut deep. Bro, you're too into her. You sure she's not using you? Don't rush it, man. She's not all that. He would laugh it off, but inside, it made him uncomfortable. Why couldn't people just be happy for him? Why did it always have to be a joke? He didn't say anything to her about it because he didn't want to bring that kind of negativity into their bubble. Their space was calm, warm, honest, and he wanted to keep it that way. But it didn't stop there. The real pressure came when his own family started asking questions. His mom asked if she was from a good family. His brother said he should think long-term and be smart. His uncle even asked if he was sure she would fit in. he would fit in. That night he just sat alone for a long time, thinking, not about her. He never doubted her. He was thinking about everyone else. The ones who couldn't see what he saw. The ones who didn't know how deeply he felt when she was near. The next day, when they met for lunch, she noticed something was off. She always noticed. She tilted her head slightly and asked, "What's going on?" He tried to shake it off. "Nothing. Just tired." But she didn't let it go. "Talk to me, please." So he did. Not everything, but enough. He told her some people didn't understand them, that maybe they thought it was too fast or that he was too caught up. She stayed quiet for a moment. Then she asked, "Do you think it's too fast?" He looked at her, really looked, and said, "No, I just wish they knew you like I do." And she smiled gently. "They will. In time. People don't always see what's real right away, but they'll feel it, just like you did." That moment made him realize something. She wasn't shaken by opinions. She didn't need to defend herself. Her love was strong, calm, rooted. She wasn't trying to prove anything to anyone. And maybe he didn't need to either. Later that night, he made a video. He didn't say names. He didn't throw shade. He just talked. He talked about the kind of woman she was. How she never asked for anything but gave everything. How she showed up when it was hard. How she laughed when he couldn't. How she taught him patience without even trying. "I'm not asking anyone to understand," he said in the video, looking straight into the camera. "I'm just telling you, this is real. This is love. And if you can't see it yet, maybe you will later. But I'm not waiting for approval. Because she's not just the girl I want. She's the woman I prayed for." He didn't post it right away. He saved it, sat with it. Because now, it wasn't about proving something anymore. It was about standing with her, beside her, for her, always. After he made that video and saved it, things between them felt lighter again, at least for a while. He kept loving her like he always did. Quietly, gently, fully. And she kept showing up with that same calmness in her eyes. That peace he always looked for at the end of his hard days. But the world outside didn't calm down. In fact, it got louder. People who used to smile in front of her now looked her up and down when they thought he wasn't watching. Friends who used to say, "You're lucky to have her," started saying, "She's not like us." Some of them didn't say anything at all anymore. Just pulled away without warning. And then one day she noticed it too. It was after a family dinner at his place. She had been so quiet the whole evening. Polite, soft-spoken, careful, smiling when spoken to, helping set the table, nodding along to conversations that didn't really include her. He thought it was fine. But on the ride home, she sat quietly in the passenger seat, her eyes looking out the window. "You okay?" he asked, glancing over. She waited a second before answering. "They didn't even ask me one question." He kept his hands on the wheel. Maybe they were just nervous. She turned her face toward him, her voice still gentle but clear. "No, they weren't nervous. They just didn't want to know me." That hit him hard, because she wasn't being dramatic. She wasn't making a scene. She was just telling the truth, the quiet truth no one wants to say out loud. And then she said something that broke him a little. "I don't want to make your life harder." He pulled the car over immediately. "What are you talking about?" She looked down at her hands. "I see the way people act around you now. How they talk. How they change when I'm around. I know I don't come from the same background. I know I don't have what they expected for you. And I don't want to be the reason people treat you differently." His heart was racing. He reached over and held her hand, tighter than usual. "Listen to me," he said. "You are not the problem. The problem is their small thinking, their narrow hearts. Not you. Never you." She stayed quiet. He kept going. "I didn't choose you because it was easy. I chose you because it was right. I chose you because I've never felt peace like I feel when I'm with you. And I don't care what they say. I'm not walking away." She looked at him then, and her eyes were glassy but strong. "You're not afraid of losing people?" she asked. "I've already lost people," he replied. "But I'm not losing you." They didn't say much for the rest of the ride. But he reached over and held her hand the whole time. Firm, steady, sure. When he got home later that night, he opened the video again, the one he had saved before. He watched it quietly. And then, for the first time, he clicked upload. He didn't share it with a big caption or any drama. Just the truth. The truth about the woman he chose. And the love he refused to hide. After he uploaded the video, he didn't expect much at first. Maybe a few views. Maybe some quiet likes. Maybe even a few people rolling their eyes and scrolling past. He wasn't trying to make a scene, he just wanted to finally say it all. Openly. Clearly. Without leaving space for guesses anymore. But by morning, the video had already passed 10,000 views. By afternoon, it had tripled. People weren't just watching, they were listening. They were leaving comments like, "I felt every word. This is the kind of love the world needs more of. Man, you made me cry. She's lucky. But so are you." He kept refreshing, almost not believing it. And then, his phone started blowing up. Messages from old friends. From coworkers. From people he didn't even expect to care. But not all of it was good. Some texts were short and cold. Some just said, "Interesting choice, man." Others were harsher. People showing their true colors when they thought they were just being honest. He expected that. He had prepared for it in his mind. But what he didn't expect was the message from his dad. It was short. Just 3 lines. "I watched your video. She looks strong. Kind too. If you're serious about her, bring her home next week." He just stared at the screen for a while, not blinking. That was the same man who, just months ago, refused to even hear her name. The same man who said, "This will only bring you problems." The same man who once said, "That kind of love doesn't last." And now, he wanted to meet her. When he told her, she just looked at him, stunned. "Are you sure?" she asked softly. "I've never been more sure." She didn't cry. She didn't jump or cheer. She just leaned into him and whispered, "Okay, let's go." That whole week felt like a slow countdown. He could feel the nerves in her. The careful way she picked her clothes. How many times she asked, "Should I say this? Or should I not mention that?" And every time he answered the same way, "Just be yourself. That's who I fell in love with." Finally, the day came. He took her hand, opened the front gate to his parents' home, and walked in. It was quiet at first. His mother looked surprised, not shocked, but definitely unsure. His dad stayed seated at the edge of the dining table, looking straight at her, then at him, then back again. No one said anything for a few long seconds. Then, his dad slowly stood up, walked over, and held out his hand. "I'm her father too now," he said quietly. "If you'll both let me be." She didn't move at first, like she didn't believe it. Then slowly, gently, she took his hand and smiled, small and shy. And in that moment, something shifted. Not just in the room, not just between them, but inside her. She finally let herself feel seen. It didn't erase the past. It didn't solve everything. But it was a step. A real one. And he knew they'd take the next step together, just like they always did.
The words hung between us, heavier than I had expected. "Sweetheart, I want you to proudly call me yours in public." I hadn't meant for it to sound like a demand. I hadn't meant for it to carry the weight of all the silent moments, the stolen glances, the way your hand would always hesitate before reaching for mine when others were around. But I couldn't pretend I hadn't noticed. The way you'd introduce me in a way that left things open-ended. The way your voice would soften, almost uncertain, when someone asked about us. The way you'd step just a little too far away when a familiar face approached. I never asked for grand gestures. I didn't need to be paraded in front of the world. But I needed to know when you looked at me, when you thought of me, when you spoke about me. Was I truly yours? Or was I just someone you held onto in the quiet spaces where no one else could see? Your fingers tensed around the edge of the table, your gaze flickering down for just a second before meeting mine again. "I do," you said softly. "You know I do." I searched your face, looking for the truth beneath your words. "Then why does it feel like a secret?" Your lips parted. but no answer came. Not right away, because we both knew the truth. You were afraid. Afraid of what people would say, afraid of the questions, afraid of the labels, the whispers, the expectations. I understood. I always had, but understanding didn't stop the ache. I don't hide you, you finally said. But it felt like a half-truth, like something meant to soothe rather than resolve. I swallowed hard, steadying my breath. Not hiding is different from being proud. A flicker of something crossed your face. Guilt, maybe, or something else you weren't ready to say out loud. Silence stretched between us, and for the first time, I wondered if I had asked for too much. Maybe I should have been satisfied with what we had in private. Maybe love didn't need an audience. But deep down, I knew. I didn't want to be a secret. And more than that, I didn't deserve to be. The air between us felt heavier now, weighted with everything unspoken. I could see the thoughts racing through your mind, the internal debate you weren't voicing. I had laid it all out, my truth, my need. Now it was your turn. Your fingers traced an invisible pattern on the table, the only movement in the silence. Your shoulders tensed, like you were bracing for something, but I wasn't sure if it was my reaction or your own answer that scared you more. You finally spoke, voice quieter than before. I don't know how to explain it. I sighed, trying to stay patient. Try your lips pressed together for a moment, your gaze shifting away before settling on me again. It's not about you. It never was. It's just people have expectations. They assume things, they judge. I nodded slowly. And, let them, you exhaled, almost in frustration. It's not that simple. But it should be. I countered. If you love me, if I'm yours, why does it feel like I'm something you're unsure of when we step outside? Your eyes flickered with something guilt, maybe, or fear. Not fear of me, fear of the world. I knew this wasn't easy for you. I knew you were fighting battles I couldn't always see. But what about me? Wasn't I fighting too? I don't want to be your quiet truth, I said, voice steady but low. I want to be the love you don't hesitate to claim. Your hands clenched into fists, and I could see the struggle written all over you. You wanted to promise me everything, but something inside held you back. I waited. Would you let fear win, or would you choose me? Because I had already chosen you, and I was tired of wondering if you had done the same. The silence between us stretched thick with the weight of a conversation that had been building for far too long. I watched you, waiting not just for an answer, but for honesty, for something real. Your fingers twitched like you wanted to reach for me, but they stopped short, resting flat against the table instead. I don't want to hurt you, you murmured, almost like you were saying it to yourself more than to me. I let out a slow breath. Then don't. It's not that easy. Why not? My voice was firm, but there was an ache behind it that I couldn't hide. What's stopping you from standing beside me the way I stand beside you? You rubbed a hand over your face, frustration flickering in your eyes. Not with me, with yourself. With us, I feel safe, you admitted. Like nothing else matters, but out there, everything matters. I felt something in my chest tighten. You mean, what other people think matters? You flinched. Just a little, but it was enough. It was the truth. I leaned forward, searching your face. What are you afraid of? Your throat worked, like you were trying to swallow words you weren't ready to say. Then, finally, I don't want to lose everything. I blinked. Everything? My family, my friends, the life I had before you, you exhaled sharply. Before us. The words landed heavy in my chest, like stones sinking in water. I stared at you, waiting for something more, some reassurance, some promise, some sign that I wasn't standing in this alone. But you just looked down, as if the table could give you answers that I couldn't. It hit me then. Loving me wasn't the problem. Loving me publicly was. And for the first time, I wasn't sure if I could be okay with that.
Order food you love with Foodpanda. Download the app and order now.
Trending in apparel and accessories. Search products and manufacturers for your business on Alibaba.com. Source now.
Okay with that. I swallowed hard. My voice quiet but unwavering. So you're saying I'm something you have to hide to keep your life the way it was? You shook your head quickly. No, that's not. Isn't it? I cut in, my heart pounding. Because that's what it feels like. You looked at me then, eyes pleading, but I wasn't sure if you were pleading for my understanding or for me to stop making you face the truth. I love you, you whispered. I nodded, my throat tight. Then prove it. I wasn't asking for the world. I was just asking for you. The silence after my words was deafening. You sat there, unmoving, like you were calculating the weight of my request. But this wasn't a demand, wasn't some unreasonable plea for attention. This was about us, about what we meant beyond these walls, beyond the quiet moments where love was easy and free from prying eyes. Your hands curled into fists before relaxing again, like you wanted to reach for me but were still holding something back. I waited, and when you finally spoke, your voice was so soft, I barely caught it. It's not that I don't want to. I tilted my head, my patience thinning. Then why does it feel like I'm asking for something impossible? You let out a shaky breath. Because you don't understand what it could cost me. My jaw tightened. And what about what it's costing me? That made you look up. Really look. Every time we're out, I feel it. I continued. The hesitation when someone walks by, the way you make sure no one's watching before you hold my hand. The way you introduce me like I'm just someone, not yours. Just someone. You shut your eyes like my words physically hurt. But I wasn't going to stop now. I want to be more than just a secret you cherish in the dark, I said, my voice steady. I want to be the person you're proud to stand beside when the sun is shining and the world is looking. You exhaled, rubbing your temple. It's complicated, I laughed, but there was no humor in it. Love isn't complicated. People make it complicated. Your fingers tapped against the table, restless. I could tell you were fighting yourself, that there was a war between your heart and your fear, and I was done waiting for fear to win. Tell me something, I said, leaning in. If I was the one afraid, if I was the one too scared to call you mine out loud, how would you feel? Your breath hitched, and I saw it, the flicker of pain, the sharp sting of a thought you never wanted to imagine. It would hurt, you admitted. Barely above a whisper, I nodded slowly. Then why do you think I should live with that pain when you wouldn't? A long pause, a battle waging inside you, then finally, a whisper so quiet, so fragile, like you were breaking apart, just saying it. I don't know if I'm strong enough. I held your gaze, my heart pounding. Then you have to decide, I murmured. Are you going to let fear define our love, or are you going to fight for it? Your lips parted, but no words came. Just the weight of the choice, settling between us. And I realized, maybe you weren't just deciding if you could love me in public. Maybe you were deciding if you could love me at all. The silence stretched between us, thick with the weight of everything left unsaid. You were still unmoving, yet I could see the storm behind your eyes. I wasn't sure if you were searching for an answer or avoiding the one you already knew. I could feel my own pulse in my throat, steady but unrelenting, mirroring the ache building inside me. Tell me something, I said, my voice quieter now but no less firm. Do you love me? Your head snapped up, eyes wide with something close to panic. You know I do. Then why does it feel like